Good evening, televiewers. Welcome to Prime today's edition, the 14th of February 2023, an edition that is going to be talking about Valentine's Day. We're using this opportunity to wish a happy Val's Day to all our televiewers, men and women watching us across the globe. This evening, we're going to be asking the question as to how this day should be celebrated and by whom. Who should celebrate this day? Should singles celebrate the day or married persons? But if married persons have to celebrate it, how should they do it? And should singles also be given the doubt to celebrate it? How should they celebrate it? Should they wish Val's Day to their mothers, to their fathers, to their cousins and like, or they themselves should engage in love activity? But we are going to start by asking ourselves what Valentine's Day is all about. We are in the company this evening of Apostle Ambe Valentine, who is a permanent consultant in the house and also the national president of the Cameroon Pentecostal movement. Good evening. We're glad to have you.
Good evening, Mr. Leo. Good evening, Cameroonians. Happy Val's Day to all the viewers of my media Prime and especially tonight's program. Good evening to my co-panelists, Apostle Esingue and Madame Fortinglet. Good evening to Madame Asanji, who will be corresponding with us from Amenda. Good evening to Cameroonians and welcome to this special edition. God bless you as you stay tuned to get very important information about Valentine's Day.
Okay. We also in the company of Apostle Esingue Alfred, who is the Secretary General of the Cameroon Pentecostal movement and an expert on issues of relationship and marriage. Good evening and welcome.
Good evening, Mr. Leo. Good evening, Apostle Ambe. Good evening, Madame Fortinglet. And good evening to our sister Amanda, who is about to come up, Madame Asanji. We are happy to have this particular time again to talk about love and relationship. We know that a lot of things will be learned today. Please stay tuned to your television as you hear us talk more on love and relationship.
We also are in the company of Miss Fortinglet. I am Henriette Ngwe. Good evening, welcome.
Thank you, Mr. Leo. Good evening, televiewers. Thanks for joining us again tonight so we can talk pertinent issues about love. It's all about love, 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 love. Please stay tuned as you enjoy the evening. Thank you.
We are going to be having contributions from both men, the Northwest Regional Capital, through Ms. Asanji Yvette, an expert in this domain of discussion for tonight. We'll start with you, Ms. Asanji Yvette, to tell us what you understand by what we're celebrating today. What's Valentine's Day?
Hello, good evening, Mr. Leo. Good evening to my co-panelists. Good evening to our televiewers. Happy Valentine's Day to everybody watching us, especially those from the Northwest region of Cameroon. Mr. Leo, I'm right here at the shop and you can see the atmosphere is really warm. It's Valentine's Day and everything about it speaks Valentine's Day. I decided to do it this way so I can have a picture of what is really happening back here on Ground Zero. And what I have seen, I'm sure somebody needs to say it themselves. I think the salesperson will have to tell us what has been happening in here. Well, I want to start by talking about Valentine's Day. And we know Valentine's Day was about the priest called Saint Valentine. And he was a Roman Catholic priest who believed in marriages. Unfortunately, at the time when people, or the Emperor Claudius III, did not want marriages to take place. So he stopped marriages because he wanted people to go to battlefronts. The men should go and fight without thinking of their families back at home. But Saint Valentine believed in marriages and kept blessing marriages to the extent where he was locked up in prison and he didn't stop. People kept coming to him for marital blessings. That's my version of the story I believe in. I know there are many versions of Valentine's Day, but that's what I believe in. So right here I am at the shop. You can see what is happening right here. Before I came in, I saw some guys taking few of them already. I mean, very young guys. So I would like to talk to the person, Madame Luce. I would like to talk to her to tell us what has been happening here so far as Valentine's Day is concerned.
Okay, you would like to talk to her. We also be happy to listen to Madame Louise tell us who are coming in to buy this Valentine Days gift. Apostle Ambe, Valentine Gwa. You are understanding of what we are celebrating today.
Yeah, like Madam Asanji rightly said, that's a brief story I know about Valentine's Day, but she did not complete it. The guard of the prison happened to have a daughter who came visiting always. When she came once, and then the priest was about to die, and then wrote a note and addressed it to the lady and said, "To my Valentine." So that's why that date became a worldwide date. It was a bishop that gave that date a celebration for lovers. Lovers in what text? We should be able to understand that love is divided in different stratas. You have agape, which is the natural love for brother, love for sister, love for mother, love for father. We have philia love, and we have eros, the love that is shared between partners who love themselves intimately. Is the kind of love we are talking about here. It's not just agape love. It's not the love that God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten son, that whosoever believes in him shall not perish. We are talking about philia. We're talking about eros love, the love that is affection between two opposite sex. So this day is practically designed for lovers, a man and a woman, that is either a fiancé, two fiancés, or a husband and a wife. So when we say Valentine's Day love is love for family, love for brothers and sisters, we are trying to misunderstand the context of the Valentine's Day love. Valentine's Day love is practically centered on people who are into intimate relationship. These are people who are either married or intending to get married. There is nothing like agape love on Valentine's Day. I'm sure this one will challenge a lot of philosophies, but that is the actual sense of the Valentine. So you discover that it's a period where lovers who go intimate, get in touch with each other, relate with each other, and then share with each other. It's now become a norm in the world that is celebrated. Not everybody is celebrating it, and for those who celebrate it, this is a concept. But it's rather unfortunate that it's a time for exchange of gifts, and I think love is reciprocal when it comes to intimacy. But people are trying to turn this thing to become either a Women's Day affair. It's not a Women's Day, it's a Lover's Day. And when you talk about love, gifts can come from a man to the woman, or from the woman to the man. But from every indication we are now seeing, it looks like the love is almost coming back from the man alone to the woman. And every woman will want you to spend on her on Valentine's Day, while it will be very difficult for them to give you something on Valentine's Day. So I am here to challenge that philosophy that Valentine's Day is not a day where we prefer women over men, and on both sides, it's a day where lovers exchange their feelings for each other.
Yes, Apostle Lefor, your understanding of this day and how, according to you, it is being misunderstood or misconstrued by the world. Do you think the world is giving this day its due value, and yes, what it represents?
Actually, Mr. Leo, there is a lot of things we need to understand when it comes to concepts. Now, there is this concept of when things are generated, or when things start, as it goes on, it changes its form and value. That's how Valentine's Day has changed with time and with years and with different circles. Valentine's Day has gone to the secular world, but if you want to see, it emanated from the church, from the priests, from those who thought that they could introduce the love of God and the love for family and whatever. But now the world has taken it and put their own flavor on it, until you will see, like somebody like Madame Asanji is showing us a doll there, and we're trying to ask ourselves, what is the intention of that doll? Does it symbolize love or what?
It's a gift.
Yes, that's what I'm trying to say. But you are gifting somebody a doll, and then you say, it's a Valentine. So I want to know, what is the role of that doll?
Symbol of my love for
Yes.
you. I can die for you.
Yes.
That doll should be very expensive.
Now, but we should understand that a lot of people have come in with different concepts into Valentine's Day, just like how they have come with the Christmas seasons. And also we are having the other Easter that is coming, which has been interpreted differently, and other people have taken it for holidays, other people have taken it for different things, while it meant something else. So for me, Valentine's Day is a period where people express their erotic feelings for each other. It has so little to do with family love. It has so little to do with what the society has as a love for people. It has to do more with the relationship that exists between a man and a woman. And obviously, it does not only go to end with marriage couples, it also goes to people with other relationships, where you will see somebody will be calling and saying that I want to talk happy Vows Day, I want to send you my vows gift, I want to send you these and these. And you know, a lot of people are running away from their homes right now. Some are putting their phone off because they don't want to pick calls to receive statements. Women have also taken it as a problem, because you know, sometimes women are the ones that know how to magnify these things very well. Like I told you, that with time, these things are changing their face. They are changing their reasons. They are changing the problems. And it has come now to the point where it is about love. It is about the love between a man and a woman, between a boy and a girl. But what do we have to say about this? Does it really help the society? When you want to go to the government to ask, how does Valentine's Day add to your economy? How does it add to the moral lessons, the moral upbringing of your society? You will discover they will tell you that, well, in the side of the economy you want to go to buying and selling, a lot of things are taking place during that period. Business people sell cards, they sell flowers, they sell many other things. They sell even some of these dolls we are talking about. Some sell, you know, even up to cars. People buy cars to give during this period. They will tell you about that. But when it goes to family life and relationship, you discover that it is a period that is full of hazards. You know, while others are rejoicing, others are angry, others are sad, others don't, you know, they cannot have that opportunity. Because I'm seeing somebody wrote to me today and said that I don't have a vow, I don't know what to do, please pray for me. I don't have a vow, please pray for me. So I was like, okay, what do you describe as a vow? Is it that everybody that has a relationship at this period must get something for the other? That is how far this thing has gone. It has gone to the fabrics of relationships, and it is either hurting or it is making relationships to boom. We should also agree that during this period, some relationship add flavor to what they are doing, because you see a lot of people have now, those who don't clean their beds, they begin to clean their beds, and then they change and then put white bed sheets and then buy red things and begin to flourish and make the place with fine perfumes that have never been in their rooms before. It is now there. So it shows that a lot of things change during this period, and as people go with it, they evolve with it, there will come a time where Valentine's Day is going to be something else. That's the truth. It's going to be something else. Now, a lot of people took it for immorality. It's a time where girls give their virginity as a gift to somebody. Say that I am giving you my virginity as a gift to show you that I love you on this Valentine's Day, which they don't know that what they are giving is very deadly. It may not end up a blessing to you, because that person you think you are giving as a gift has other girls that he is also going to go to after that time, okay, and he may finally hurt you. Yes.
Now, Ms. Fortinglet, what are we really celebrating as love? What love are we celebrating? Does that love actually exist? When you look at what we are doing, we exchange gifts, we do this and that. What are we doing? Is it just the feeling that we feel for one another, or it is the real love that we are ready to die for? Mm-hmm. Yes, going by what we are seeing out there.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Talking about people sharing their loves in whatever way, whether we actually celebrate their love, it is real or it is fake. Truth be told, there are people who sincerely love, being it their partners, wives or husbands, being it the community and others to whom they think they can extend love to. People sincerely actually love. But truth be told, there's a lot of misinterpretation out there, and this is a period where a lot of things, a lot of evil happens behind the door. a lot of people, the disguise, carry gifts and think that these gifts can actually be able to describe the love they feel for others, or it can actually be able to tell, whereas their hearts are masked and they know actually what they want from. And this mostly happens from the men to the women, and most especially those who fall victim of this fake love are the younger generation, those who do not even know anything about love, those who don't even know what love is all about. They just hear that love and they are carried away by their emotions, they are carried away by the word or the term love. And then little guys who pick up little flowers, approach them, and you know, they just see the flashy things and they get excited. There is more to love than what people see or the thing they believe. If we are talking about erotic love here, there is more to it. We understand giving is part of it, but it is not all about giving. And giving too must not necessarily be material. There are a lot of things you can give in a relationship that will be able to tell that you actually love your partner. We are talking here about adults, responsible people, people who are married, or people who actually know what they are doing. Not the youths, not the younger ones who just grow up, they are in school, they get excited. They are carried away by infatuation, and they think that a little flower is strong enough to say that they love. That's not true. There are a lot of things you can give when you actually love somebody. It's not about the material things you carry about. It's not about the baskets, the flowers. It's not about posting of pictures left and right, because most of those things are done just to camouflage. And when a man wants something from a woman who is not his wife, he will do everything to have it. The moment he has it, he turns his back, and that's all. It was just for that moment. You can give, you can sacrifice your time, your emotions, apart from material, there are a lot you can sacrifice to somebody when you love that person. It speaks more than the clothes we are buying today, the socks, the ties. I know there's a lot of buying in the market going on in the name of love. But question is, most of that is infatuation. Most of that is just because you want something in exchange. A lot of handbags are passing around with bags and all of that, you know. Young guys trying to pick up some things to entice young girls and lure them to bed and damage their future. So people, you're asking, what is this love we are actually talking about? Here, in the context of Valentine's Day celebration, just like it has been defined first, we're talking about erotic love. But if we really want to look at love the way it is, love is God, and God is love. There is nothing to me that is static. If we believe that everything changes, then even the context of the definition of this Valentine's Day, it changes with time. As the world grows, as we too grow and we get light, we are supposed to broaden the scope and not limit ourselves to the erotic love, to the man and a woman relationship.
Okay, we should go beyond the scope.
We have to go beyond the scope, and that is the reason why we have a lot of ills in the society. People getting frustrated because, just like Apostle is saying, that I have no value. Okay. You know, people getting frustrated, people feeling so isolated, abandoned to themselves simply because.
No, Apostle Ambe, Valentine. If you are not in love, going by your definition of Valentine's Day, if you are not in love with a woman or a man, this is not a day for you to celebrate. There's nothing for you to celebrate about.
Of course, Mr. Leo, not every day involves everyone. There are people who don't celebrate Christmas. Mm-hmm. There are others who don't celebrate the Feast of Ramadan. There are people who do not celebrate certain Women's Day. Men don't celebrate Women's Day. Those days are designed. Women don't celebrate Father's Day. So you mustn't tell me that we'll take Valentine's Day out of context. It cannot go out of context. Agape love should not be on a day. Agape love should be the love that is shared daily, every moment, every second, every minute, because it's a command that God asked us to love. So you shouldn't wait on the 14th, and you should not do erotic love only on the 14th. He said that this day is special for people of this caliber. And if you don't have a lover and you are not married, this day is not for you. It's not obligatory. Nobody forced you to celebrate this day. This day is there for particular people. The same way you will not see me putting a woman kaba on Women's Day, going out to dance because I'm not a woman. It's their day. It goes around, and you see Muslims will never put on dresses to dance on Christmas Day. It's not their day. So people have their day. Why do you think that there's a World AIDS Day, there's a day for malaria, there's a day for this, there's a day for that? Because people who are involved in that particular thing, that thing is destined for them. So I think we should define the Valentine Day love within the context of Valentine's Day and leave agape love within the level of agape.
Yes.
Agape shouldn't be a day's thing. Agape is the love we share with everyone around us, and that is obligatory. But we are trying to tell that those who are in this erotic love, they are supposed to make this day special. For instance, there are some marriages or relations that are dead. Days like this come up to revamp that relationship. You could take your partner once in a while out, probably for lunch, probably for supper or dinner, probably for swimming at the beach, probably to relocate in a hotel somewhere else. It is advisable to do those things every time as somebody who is well exposed. But people sometimes on days like these, they are pushed to carry out such activities because the day has been designed, programmed for that particular purpose. And when you hear that thing, it stirs up some people. For instance, when we were growing up in those days, we could eat chicken only when Christmas came. That was a miracle. If Christmas did not come, our parents could not sit like this and imagine of cooking chicken anyhow. So that day pushed our parents to do something they could not do ordinarily. Must a child eat chicken only on Christmas Day? Impossible. Must a child have the opportunity to eat rice and stew on Christmas Day? Impossible. But because that day was designed as a particular day of celebration, parents went the extra mile. This day has been set aside so that lovers could go the extra mile to make sure they please their lovers on things they could not do on ordinary days. That's what we are trying to say. And one of the ways to express your love for somebody you are engaged or married to is through gifts. And this is a time where gifts are being shared. People express their love for each other. And like I said earlier, Valentine's Day has nothing to do with gender. It's not a male's day or a female's day. It is a day for lovers. As long as you are a lover, know that Valentine's Day belongs to you. The gift can come from the man as well as can come from the woman. But from the way things are going, the society we are seeing, it's almost becoming a women's day. A girl will tell you have not bought me this Valentine's Day. It looks like Valentine's Day is a Valentine because he's a man. He's the one that is obliged to must buy something. No, love is reciprocal. You could surprise your guy on that day. The guy can equally surprise you. But it shouldn't be a one-way thing.
I want us to look at this issue of gifts giving. How genuine is the love? Because we are celebrating true love here, sincere love. How does the fact that you offer a gift to a lady or a man actually prove that you love them, even if you have not been doing things to them rightly? Just because you buy the best of gifts today shows that this day is special for them, or it's also a way just to lure some ladies to bed.
If somebody buys you a gift as a lover, particularly for this day, if you have been lovers for long, it's a scammer. If a husband chooses to buy a gift particularly for a wife only this day, after being married for years, the man is a scammer. I think that we are trying to identify a day and make it special. Not that that day should be the reason why you express your entire love for a woman or a man. This is a day that has been set aside to make lovers feel special. Now, every other day, you can manifest your love for your partner. And if you wait for the whole year and your expression is only on the 14th of February, then you are doing it with a secondary motive. You have something to achieve behind that. Because I don't think that Valentine's Day is the only day a lover has the right to express or demonstrate the love for each other. That's absolutely out of the picture. So we will know your attitude, the way you live with the individual, but you are making this day special. Just like somebody's birthday. You can be buying somebody a gift on the birthday as your wife, not because that's the only gift you are giving her, but you are making that day special. You could buy your husband a gift on his birthday, not because that's the first gift you are giving for that year, but because you are making that particular day special. So Valentine's Day is like a birthday. Valentine's Day is like a birthday of a man or a woman. We are making that day special. But that is not the only day we buy a gift for a wife. For instance, my wife's birthday is on the 1st of January. Before January 1st comes, I have bought things in June, January, March, April, before that day. But that particular day, to make her feel special, because it's a reminder that she has added years on earth. So I make it special. I could throw a party, I could buy her a gift, I could take her out and give her a treat. That's making that day special. So to lovers who have spent time together,
Okay. Apostle, good evening, Mr. Kum. This topic is very enriching, and because of this, I propose we should revisit the origin of this day. I plead Apostle Ambe should tell us the story. Sir Ewane Andrew, writing from Fungo village. You want to know? I'm sure he came in late.
Okay, Valentine's Day happens to be, during the medieval era, a certain priest, Catholic priest, who did not believe in, because the emperor there was Claudius. Claudius was the first emperor who was sending people to go and fight and didn't believe in marriage. So most of the men were packaged in their 20s, 25, 30s and sent to the war front during the Roman war. Because of this priest was doing weddings in a closet, not publicly. At the background, he was wedding people. People will come, husband and wife, he will wed them. Until the thing was disclosed now to this emperor, who arrested this priest and locked in prison. This priest was in prison. People were still coming there, and then he was still blessing their marriages. Then the guard of the prison had a daughter who kept on visiting the guard in the prison and then coming to see this priest. Because of the affection that both of them had together, one day this girl came to visit. The priest had written a note and left behind because he died out of the stress and the torture in the prison. And then he said, "To my Valentine." That was how the bishop within that era dedicated that day as Valentine's Day for lovers throughout the world. So from there, it started in the Roman Empire. It has now spread all over the world. There are so many things we are practicing today that begin during the Roman era. It has now become an African thing. Valentine's Day has nothing to do with Africa. It's a European stuff that was just transmitted here. Since colonialism came with so many things, we bought so many things and brought them, and then we have embraced them. And because of that, a lot of persons now have actualize that day in our context, which is the 14th of February. Now we are trying to dissect this day, knowing fully well that the kind of love that was expressed on that day was not philia, neither was it agape, it was erotic love. Erotic love is a love between two partners who have affection for each other, who have compassion, who have deep feelings for each other. It's not the agape love where God so loved the world. Agape love is expressed to everybody, mother, father, sister, cousin, auntie. But this particular love is a love for either people who are into a relationship to get married, or for those who are already married.
So what you're saying is that today you see many persons are saying, okay, happy Valentine's Day to my mother, to my father, to...
It's out of context.
Okay.
It's out of context. You can't have erotic feeling for your father or your mother. That will be incest. You can't have it for your brother, your sister. It will be incest. You can't have it for a neighbor, or you can have it now for somebody whom you envisage getting married to, or somebody who is a fiancé to you, or somebody you are married to. That's erotic feeling. And this is the reason why we must differentiate the different categories of love. There is philia, there is agape, and there is eros, which is the erotic love. Okay. So Valentine's Day is specifically celebrating erotic love, not agape.
Okay, erotic love. So, please stop.
It's a Romeo and Juliet kind of love.
Yes, it is love between lovers.
Yes.
If you love somebody, that is, you are qualified to celebrate this day. Stop this issue of my father, my mother, my family members. Let's go back to Bamenda and find out what's actually happening. There, Miss Asanji was about talking to the shop owner of a gift shop out there to tell us who is dominating as far as the purchasing of gifts are concerned for their loved ones.
Okay, Mr. Leo, I'm right here with Madam Luz, and she sells these dolls. To be honest with you, I just came in, they took, I think, the bigger ones of these. And the kind of people that are buying the dolls, please let me ask her, Madam Luz, how much? Oh, sorry, happy Valentine's Day.
Thank you, and same to you.
Oh, thank you so much. So how much is this?
30,000 francs.
This is 30,000 francs, guys. 30K. And Mom, who are the people that are coming to buy this?
Let me say, mostly youths.
Did you get that? Youths. Youths are the people that are coming in to buy.
Yes, mostly youths.
I mean, when you say youth, Mom, can you be specific? Youth of which age group?
Let's say youths from 16, 18, yes.
My God, 16, 18 years, they are here buying dolls for 30K, and we have married people at home sleeping. So, Mom, can you tell me, like, what has been the environment? I don't know how they come to buy. Do they come with their girlfriends, or they come singles coming to buy?
Okay, actually, some of them come with their girlfriends, some of them come to buy and, let's say, do like a surprise back at home to their girlfriends, yes.
But how do you see it? What can you say about the Valentine's Day from the way the youth come to buy?
Okay, what I can actually say is that normally at first we used to say Valentine's Day, like it's mostly for married people or let's say couples, but nowadays youth turn out now to celebrate the Valentine's Day more than couples. Yes.
So you can see that Valentine's Day, like I said, it was for married people since Valentine was blessing marriages. But the scenario today is different. You heard from Madam Youth, she said youths are, can you imagine youths for up 16 to 30 years, where do they take money to buy? And they're buying it for who? For our girl children. And so that's to make you understand what is going to happen today. We have been sounding it, we have been saying it that Valentine's Day or sex is not a Valentine's Day gift. Your virginity is not a Valentine's Day gift. Our girls, our girl children, when we see boys buying all of these, our girl children are in trouble. And what we can do is just simply educate them. But at the end of the day, we know that our children will still do whatever they want to do. But I want to believe that we might need to pray for our children even more because the world is fast changing. If youth could come in here to buy gifts of 30K, and to be honest with you, married people are not coming to buy. I don't know if there's any married person that's coming to buy, but we've had just youths coming in to buy. That's to tell you that youths are excited about the day, and the kind of excitement it is what makes me to be, to have fears. What can happen later in the evening? I'll be coming back again to talk about how the day should be celebrated by the married people, of course.
Yvette, shocking revelations out there in Bamenda, Northwest Regional Capital. I'm sure that is what obtains in other parts of Cameroon. How do we understand that young people are the ones engaged in buying this stuff? Meanwhile, those of us who are married, we're tired of love. What's happening?
Yeah, Mr. Lo, you should understand that the fact that religion has been taken away from school, the fear of God has been taken away from our educational systems, have led these children to go astray and start following a lot of things because of the advent of the internet, Facebook, WhatsApp, and all the others, has exposed these children to a lot of things that have brought, rather a backwardness than forwardness. You see, a lot of children were very concentrating about their books, about their education and everything. But today, what is happening? Now, that young man must have gone and stolen, or must have gone and played one mafia or something or the other to get that kind of money. Because you talk about, she's talking about Bamenda now. And you should know that the crisis in Bamenda has plagued everywhere. And for somebody to have that kind of money, it means they've either been saving for a very long time, or they must have played one or two mafia to be able to get that kind of money. And after that, they will still have to pay for the consequences of where they got that money from and so on, only to please a girl on that day. And some girls go to the extent of pleasing their boy, because there are some girls who are begging boys. That's the truth. There are some girls who like to beg boys, especially, I've seen girls who go about begging boys. They know that it is their friend's boyfriend, but they go behind and try to play those kind of games. So when you are playing these kind of games, you can go to any extent to buy anything to hold that person captive, because knowing that your friend cannot go that extra mile to buy that kind of a thing to give the boyfriend. So you go now and buy it and give in order to capture the guy. But unfortunately, you don't know that this thing is not about gifts. This love thing is not about gifts, because those who really have cannot really love. They cannot really be in good relationships. Love is more of a spirit. It dwells with people. And I always want to say that youth and youthfulness is vanity. Vanity in the sense that it controls you to the negative part of life if there's no one to guide you or to control you, you can end up being a criminal or find yourself in prison. Because when you start spending so much money, a girl will tell you that I want a human hair for about 100,000, human hair for about 75,000, human hair for about 50,000 francs, and then some will even say I want a human hair for 250,000 francs. Some will tell you the kind of phone they want to buy, and the phone is costing about 200,000, 250,000 francs, and then you go to that extent to want to buy to present. Because if I tell you what youths are going, because I'm a youth technician, I know how to work with youths. I've worked with a lot of youths for so many years. I've been in the university milieu and university environment. And I happened to have a store. I had a cosmetic store around the University of Boya, where during this period, I know what we used to go to the market to buy. We concentrate on these things. And you see, it is mostly the youths that come to buy those things. And you ask them, why are they buying these things? They will tell you that they are buying it to go and give their love. And they want to give this love. Some of them have about 4 or 5 different guys who are with them. This one will buy and come and give. This one will buy and send. They have different times they have made arrangements for people that are coming to give. And at the end of the day, you live a very frustrated life because you think you are loving somebody, but the person does not even love you, is loving another girl. And at the end of the day, your heart will be hurt and your heart will be broken. And you will see him going and rejoicing, or you will see her going and rejoicing. It is time for youths to understand that this emotional game has a period. There is a time in life, especially when you're very successful. At that time, you can spend any money and you means nothing to you because of what? You work and you can get that kind of a money. But now, you don't work. Now you depend on people. You call this aunt and beg for money. You call that uncle and beg for money. You call this one and beg for money. After they realize that you're a mafia, nobody gives you money again. Or after you graduate from school and you don't yet have a job, they refuse to give you money because of what? Instead of you to learn how to save, you have learned how to use your money for foolish things. Yes, because a girl or a boy who truly love you will tell you not to spend at this time. That please keep this money. We will have use for it some other time. We'll have use for food. We'll have use for some other thing. Because you are students. How can students be spending 50,000 francs for gift or 30,000 francs for gift? You ask yourself, after this Valentine, what next? What next? Even though, Mr. Leo, I know that they used to talk, say, chop for die, please, now it is sweet. Because, you know, once in a while when they meet, you know, people want to, that's the time they want to enjoy those pleasures and everything. But the way I grew up, maybe when I got married, the way I started relating with my wife, we didn't put special days in our lives. We didn't put special Christmas, Valentine Day. I don't even remember us still talking about Valentine today. Because it is not the priority for us. We didn't build our relationship based on that. We built it on values. We built it on, no, you are more special than any other thing. And there are other times that we can buy gifts. We can buy gifts and give to the other person. We can buy gifts and give in the middle of the year. We can buy and give at the end of the year. We can buy at any time that you can have money at your convenience than putting yourself under pressure to buy a gift for someone just for one day. Let me tell you something, you're doing harm to yourself. Psychologically, emotionally, physically, you are breaking your life. You are ruining your destiny and your testimony. And now, some of these people you really struggle for to buy gifts or to show love or to pay attention to, they will take some of those things you bought and gave them. They will give it to their other girlfriend or to their other boyfriend. That's the sad reality. You buy something very beautiful and come and give him. And if, in short, what do girls usually buy for boys? Girls will go and buy boxers and innerwears. Okay. But you will see boys who want to buy those big things to prove a point, which is really sad.
Miss Fortinglet, you listen to Mr. Asanji there. 16, 17, 18, 19. Is it really Valentine's love, or it's just lust, infatuation, or excitement?
We can call it infatuation, we can call it lust, we can call it excitement, and we can even call it ignorance. And why ignorance? Because some institutions have not played their role well, beginning from the home to the society, maybe to the schools and the church even. They have not played their role well. You know, if we find ourselves where we are now, and sometimes you feel as though you cannot even control the youth. you cannot even control the younger ones. There is information they have that you don't even have that information. They have so many other ways to get this information, and they interpret it their own way. It is often said that if you fail to train your child, the television will train the child, the social media will train the child, the society outside the quarters, they will train your child. All these things they exhibit out there is just youthful exuberance. Youthfulness is a stage where every person passes through. And it's a very delicate stage in the life of every child, of everyone growing up. Because you get to that point where you are unable to make a decision or to know what is good and what is bad if you do not have a proper coaching. So whatever comes, you listen to, you feel is good. Whatever information that comes your way and you see others, so long as it's exciting, so long as it makes you feel good, you interpret it as good. But is that God? Is God in the whole thing? That it is good, is it really the way of life? Is it the right way of life? So if we are finding ourselves here, I think the society has to go back to the place of education. And we begin from the home. We begin from the families. The modern parents nowadays, I think our parents far back, they did well to give us that basic home training, to put their children and talk to them. I remember when I was growing up, there's something my mother told me. My mother told me when I was yet around from 1 or 2, my mother told me one thing. She said, if a man only just touches you, if a boy just comes closer to you and only greets you, you will get pregnant. And you know what? And since my mother knew that I loved education so well, she told me that if that happens to you, you will drop out of school. You will get pregnant, you will drop out of school, you will stay in the village and get married to one tapper, and you will be a farmer. And since she knows that I loved education, when she said that, it remained in my brain. I grew up with it. Like, I will not allow a man touch me. I will not want any kind of a relationship, because my mother has given me, and she kept reminding me, and she will always keep coaching me on the right way to go. The truth is that many parents nowadays, many of us young parents, we are deviating from that lifestyle of trying to train our children. We have allowed our children in the hands of the television, at the mercy of social media, to the point that parents they feel that they are proud of the fact that you buy an Android phone to your 14 years old child, to your 10 years, 15 years old child, 16, 17 years old child who is yet at school, and you are very proud you bought an expensive Android phone to your child. You're so proud of it, but there is there's no control measures you have put in place to know exactly what your child is learning from those things. They see it in the European world, in the Americans. You see it's normal. You see youths, they move around, they share the kind of love, the kind of things they do. They even do pornography. To them is a lifestyle. But we are talking in the country, we are in Africa, and that's not there.
Especially for Christians, yeah.
Especially for Christians, that's not how our parents grew us up. Now in our society, what are we doing? Because in all of this, we will not blame the youth. It's a stage they have gotten to, and if they are getting, and it's getting bad by the day, are we actually playing our role as parents? Now, we have working parents. Today in the morning, you are gone to work, the wife is gone, the husband is gone, and you come back, you don't bother to find out from your girl child, from your boy child, the kind of friends you keep, the kind of discussions you have with your friends, the things you experience in the course of your day, and then you coach them, you advise them, you talk to them about the ills of social to satisfy these young girls.